If you're watching this, part 4. Let's go. Well, hello there, YouTubers, Facebookers, and all other onlookers. JPBII, Jimmy P. Brown II. That's right, aka Jimmy P. Brown II, coming at you with installment number 4 of the Patreon questions. So, hope you have been enjoying this. Not getting a ton of views, which is a tad disappointing, but I guess either people figured that they're going to be the same questions being asked, but actually there's a host of different questions being asked. So we're going to do our best to get through these today without elongating everything. But first of all, I want to tell you and invite you to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And that's it you're going to get from me. And of course, if you want to be a patron, you already know what to do. Go to patreon.com/JPBII. And all staying in touch with all things JPBII, please go to JPBII.com, JPBII.com, and stay in touch with everything. And of course, Deliverance23.com, all things Deliverance. So before we do get started, I do have to just tell you, these are just fantastic. These vinyls, they just look great. They turned out wonderful. And from what I understand, I don't have a vinyl player, so I can't tell you. I don't have a turntable, but I heard they just sound quite wonderful. The double vinyl set of Deliverance live at Cornerstone, the Triumphant Return show. So you guys this is very, very cool to have in your collection if you're a Big D fan. And then we got Deliverance Assimilation, and then we've got As Above, So Below with the new cover artwork, which is very, very cool. Absolutely beautiful. And again, on vinyl. And of course, we've got 2018's The Subversive Kind that you definitely want to get a hold of. And last but not least, this was just released last year, the Live Intense, the Live in Studio Intense series. We were the guinea pig for the whole thing, and so it kind of works out. So it turned out fun, and the cover of Striper's Surrender is pretty cool. So, all right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this today. We have, let's see here, I believe platinum member Aaron Dozel, aka Jupiter 6. That's right. He has adopted the moniker of Jupiter 6, but otherwise this precious patron of mine, his name is Aaron Dozel, and he's got some questions for us. So let's go ahead and I'm reading these for the first time. So there we go. I wanted to kind of go not prepared for this episode. I wanted to just come in, set the lights and everything up, and then just hit record and see what happens. So there we go. Okay. So if my voice sounds a little odd, I'm just getting over a pretty bad cold or allergy attack. I have no idea, but all week, boy, it's knocked me on my butt, and but everything's cool. So and ready for the shows this weekend. In fact, before we start, let's talk about that. We've got concerts coming up this weekend. So May 9th, we're playing out at in Dundee, Illinois. That's not too far outside of Chicago. So if you're in the Chicago area or anywhere in Illinois and you want to take a drive up, we're going to be playing at Ricky's Rock House out in Dundee. It's a great club, great venue, good food, good drink, and good stage and good sound. So and me, Brian, George, and of course Jim Chaffin are going to be out there, and we're going to be making some eardrums bleed. And then the very next night we're going to be in Versailles, Ohio, and we're going to be opening up for Disciple there at the BMI Events Center. So we're very excited about that as well, and there will be a meet and greet at that as well. I'll go ahead and post links in the description, so if you guys are interested in going to those shows, you got it. So here we go. Now back to Aaron Dozel, aka Jupiter 6, and let's go. First question, number 1. Besides trying to come up with new ideas for the next Deliverance album, are you planning to write material for another Fearful Symmetry or JPBII album in the near future? Once you are finished with Novella 3 and 4, of course. That is the plan always, is just to keep writing, keep working, keep doing. I will say this, it becomes overwhelming at times. Because I have to keep reminding myself I don't have to stay in any particular genre. I can do whatever I want. That was the freeing part from 1992 on. So the diehard metalheads that, ended up, posting up hate signs and everything for anything and everything Deliverance. Somebody sent me some link to some forum, and I looked at it. I just looked at it briefly. All these diehards, this is the worst crap from. I haven't heard anything after What a Joke. It's like, good, fine, good for you. But what was freeing about that is just that I'm not trapped by a genre anymore. So I do heavy guitars. That's my style. If I want to throw keys, if I want to throw low vocals, if I want to throw high vocals, it's my style. So whatever I do is whatever I do. So. So I have to just remind myself of that, because sometimes I get in writing mode and then I get stuck and I say it has to be this or it has to be that, and I have to remind myself, no, it doesn't. So yes, Fearful Symmetry, JPBII, absolutely. I still want to do stuff under those monikers because people do know them. In fact, the whole Patreon page was started by a Fearful Symmetry fan who she absolutely never heard of JPBII. She never heard of Deliverance. All she knew was Fearful Symmetry. And she has been my biggest supporter. I mean, she's just such a sweetheart, and I thank her for starting my Patreon page and pushing me in this right direction. But she was shocked and surprised to hear all these other things happen. Because she didn't know Deliverance. She didn't know. She was just a fan of Fearful Symmetry, primarily the Loss of Balance album. So there you go. So yeah, I definitely will continue down that route. Question number 2. Questions about the vinyl reissues from Retroactive. That's funny. I just showed these. Let's see here. Just curious, does Matt Hunt decide on the color variants that will be used for each of the LPs, or do you have any input about those decisions? Matt does it. And I'm sure Matt does email me and text me and send me questions. Here's my thing. I'm not very much a visual guy. I love paintings, and I've been collecting paintings and artwork all my life. But I don't consider myself a visual guy. I just look at something I like and I say I like it or I don't like it. And so I've picked up some cool lithographs and different paintings. And of course, my wife's an artist. So we have paintings all over the house. My buddy Craig Marshall out in the UK has sent me some beautiful pieces that I have hanging on my wall. It just depends on if something speaks to me, I like it, but I don't necessarily call myself anybody that has a visual eye for things like, I know I want that, or I know I want this. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I rely solely on the artistic people to do that, the people that have a flair for the visual, as it were. My area is auditory. So I leave it up to Matt. Matt chooses all those colors and all that good stuff. And so far, he's done a great job. I love everything I've seen. So maybe you don't like him. I don't know. So I will. Let me put in here. It was just about an email that you sent to Matt. So okay, let's go to question number 3 from Aaron Dozel. Are you still planning to record the new Deliverance album at Sweetwater? That is certainly the plan. That is certainly what we're wanting to do. Having been booted out of slots a couple times kind of made me a little leery. I know we were given a humongous discount and all that. So, it was, it's just made things a little leery. So, if push comes to shove, we have backup plans, but I would like to go there. and make that happen. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. We have backup plans. We have other studios. We have other places we can record. Not here, obviously. I do my vocals and stuff here, but no, we have other joints to fall back on just in case. So, number 4. Will you be bringing in someone like Bill Matoy or Terry Taylor or some other producer for the new Deliverance album, or are you and George going to handle the production? I'm handling production pretty much. I know George is a producer, and of course, we would probably more than anything butt heads. So we're going to be working together in writing and possibly in production. George's production style is completely different than mine, and if there's things that we can make happen together and that we see eye to eye on, cool. But if I have to start fighting, if I have to start arguing, and all the headbutting stuff that happens, I don't want to deal with that. And it happens when you deal with another person with a very strong personality. And talent's all his own. I mean, again, George is an incredibly talented producer, and he does a great job for what he does. And I'm not saying that he can't do anything else, and I'm not saying I'm this grandiose guy. Not at all. As I said in one of my other videos in the interview series, I haven't produced very many other people, and there's a reason why. And part of it is that because I'm just very pig-headed, and whatever I hear in my head is what I want to try to make translate. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But there's also things that I want to stay away from, and that very commercial cookie cutter types of sounds I don't like. I just don't want involved with what I do. So I don't know. I mean, it's something we haven't really, because we're not at that stage yet. But because we're still literally just getting material together, because I want to make sure this is a really kick-ass album. And because I'm not saying it's Deliverance's last, but what if it is? Well, then I'd like it to come out and punch you in the face and walk away. I don't want it to be a half-ass record, and I feel that a lot of the last ones that came out, like As Above and Hear What I Say and everything, just like when I listen to Hear What I Say, there's just things I don't like about it, and part of it is the mix, part of it is the overall production, and it was because simply I was working 16-18 hour days at that time at the casino, and I was a director for casino marketing, and I couldn't handle that, working and then trying to put my all into this record, so it suffered, and stuff like that just happens. So I want to make sure this one is special to the core, but I guess everything remains to be seen, and I guess you'll know when you read the credits. All right, question number 5. What other artists would you like to work with on other future projects that you haven't already worked with in some aspect in the past? It is nice to work with familiarity, and those that I'm familiar working with, I like to work with. So hence why the same circle of musicians that work on Deliverance records or JPBII or Fearful Symmetry or anything like that. And when I'm aiming for specific sounds in my head, and I know who fits those things, and sometimes it's nobody. Sometimes it's just I just begin recording and writing, and if I like what I've done, I'll leave it alone. Novella started very much that way. I knew exactly what I wanted. Then Larry heard it and wanted to be a part of it, and then Jim heard it and wanted to be a part of it. Then Manny heard it and wanted to be a part of it. So, and it just worked out that way. But just depends on what's going on in my head and what I'm hearing in my head. But nobody specific right now. Part of it is because again, I am very specific with people I work with. So we'll see. I'm excited to do stuff with Brian again, and because it's been a while. We worked pretty heavy on the second JPBII album, And I worked with Brian a lot on it. That album never saw the light of day. It was called Hitler is Alive and Well and on Planet Earth. And yeah, I remember Matt was not too keen on that title, and so we ended up just calling it Alive and Well, and it was never released. So, and I'm glad it wasn't, because I go back and listen to it, and it was terrible, terribly done, rushed again because I was working so much, and so who knows? Maybe I'll revisit some of those songs, and well, because there were some great songs on there that you guys never have heard. So we'll see. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's see here. Number 6. Do you know yet if you will be putting a cover song on the new Deliverance album? Nope, don't know. I've been thinking about it, bouncing it around. If it's done, I want it to be something really cool and unexpected. Everybody would expect a Bowie song or Gary Newman or something like that, but this one I would want to be unexpected. So if a cover song's on there, but it's kind of strange. There's only been a few Deliverance records that have been released without a cover on it. Be cool. It'd be nice to get one together. All right, number 7. Will we ever see Cauldron of Puke album reissued on CD and limited run vinyl? I'm guessing that's never going to happen, but I would love to see it nonetheless. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Cauldron of Puke was. How my name started associating with it. I still don't understand, because I really didn't want my name out there with regards of it. I'm just going to tell you exactly how the whole thing started. So a friend of mine, Rick Mester, of course, you guys know, he's not only my long life friend, but we've been friends for so long. He's a patron as well. He's a platinum patron. And, or no, I think he's not. I think he's actually black level. But either way, so, we had a guy who helped us out, and he's actually on the live at Cornerstone. His name's Lael. And, we made fun of everything he listened to, because he listened to nothing but death metal. And his favorite band was this band called Cradle of Filth. And, we listened to it, and we really tried to see the artistic merit to it, but we just couldn't. And we would make fun of him listening to this stuff, and so we decided to approach it about stupid subjects having to do with boiling cats and dumb subject matter. Basically, the whole idea is these little kids that started a death metal band, and they called it Cauldron of Puke, kind of in the same spirit of Cradle of Filth, Cauldron of Puke. And we would write these songs and record them in 20 minutes. That was our goal with each other. And it just happened. It was funny. A bunch of us went in on it, but me and Rick kind of kept it going as far as idea-wise and everything. But the song Vociferous Frost is probably closest to making fun of that, because everything before that really wasn't there. But yeah, I don't see anything ever happening with that. How can I get that full album? Can you send me the MP3 file? I know you sent the Vociferous Frost song to the Patreons back in 2022. It always puts a smile on my face when I listen to it, or when I play that song. Yeah, that's exactly it. But as far as the rest, I'd have to ask. I think it's still for sale or on somewhere. I don't know. I'll ask Rick about it, though. Let's see here. And then question number 8. Are you still planning to resume the Fractured Brain podcast? I loved the Is It Wrong Season 2, Episode 1 that you did live with Ray. It was a lot of fun, being that it was a live podcast. Yeah, I'm hoping to. I've reached out to people to see who is going to be on with me, but I want it to be a little different than the past seasons were. And I'd really like to try to expand the horizons as opposed to just keeping it centralized to maybe only dealing with Christian artists and stuff like that. I'd like to expand and go beyond that. So we'll see. I want to see how it goes, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Number 9. Is the Parable project on hold for right now, or are you and Larry still working on it between all other projects and trying to get completed? Yes. That's exactly it. Everything's just in the stages of trying to be completed. And but Parable is next after Novella 4, but we got to get 3 out there. Number 1. I'm so scared because of so much work that has gone into it, and then people are going to listen to it and go, really, it took this long? But there's a lot more to it. But yeah, Parable is still in the works. Number 10. Does Matt Hunt at Retroactive send you the test pressings to listen to and approve first before the LPs are pressed? Or does Retroactive handle the test pressing approval process? Are the test pressings ever made for sale? Just curious about what happens with the test pressings. I haven't ever seen those listed on Boons for sale. Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't the slightest about test pressings or anything like that. These, what I get, I get them, and I do my own giveaways, which I'm going to talk about at the end of these questions. And Matt sends me some. He sends me some extras. He knows I like to frame them, and once I get a proper studio, I'll rehang all my vinyls and my albums and my work and repertoire up. But I'm still trying to get him to release Jupiter 6 stuff on vinyl. I'd really love to see that stuff on vinyl. I don't know. You'd have to ask Maddie. I'll shoot him a text and ask him about it. But anywho, so I am going to be doing a full giveaway this summer where you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 vinyls. And the contest is going to be one of my nutty contests where I like to have you try to guess something I said. Now, on every Deliverance record, there's always some sort of belching track or a track of music. George and I were, in fact, talking about the other day. He used to have, in the old tape days, you'd have to go in and clean the tracks. And one time he was doing cleaning on something on What a Joke, on the song Product of Society, and the first line of the next part was the lust and power, but that first, was lust. And he was cleaning tracks and he accidentally erased that first word, lust. So it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and he didn't want to call me to have to come all the way down to the studio to do it. So he ended up doing it, just going in there and going, lust, and then it just mixes in. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in other words, some of the stuff that remains, I'll just say things. And some of my patrons, I've done those with my patrons, and they've done really well. They were able to actually guess the things I said. But there's a couple that are going to be a little difficult, and I'm going to have you to get all 6 vinyls sent to you. I'm going to get a difficult one, and it should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it. It's not bad. You guess a word, and you get 6 Deliverance vinyls sent to you. It's not a bad dealy bob right there. So what I'm trying to decide is, do I want to do it for my patrons only, or do I open it up? Do I open it up for Facebook and all this other stuff? And if I do open it up for Facebook and everything, it'll more than likely be kind of like a raffle drawing type of thing, which I kind of don't want to do. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll figure it out and actually even talk to my patrons and get their feel on it. So, all right. Well, that wraps up today. Thank you so much, Aaron Dozel. I appreciate you sending in those questions. I'm going to try to keep these shorter. Hopefully that will attract more views. I've been told that my videos are just way too long, and then I look at, Joe Rogan and other podcasts that go on for hours and hours and hours. I mean, there's a few people that I listen to particularly, not Joe Rogan, but nothing against Joe. But there's been a few that I've listened to, but I have to listen to them in segments because I can't really do any more than a half hour. So, and so I'll listen to, the first half hour and then the second half hour and then whatever, on a 3-hour, 4-hour podcast. There's another cat I really love listening to out of Texas that he does these great interviews, and but they're long, 3 and 4 hours. So I get it completely, and especially if it's just me rambling on, totally understand it. So, but we're going to try to wrap these things into 20-30 minutes and go from there. But thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, and mostly those that are my patrons. You guys are the reason this keeps going, and why the writing machine is happening behind you or behind me, and why the videos are happening again, and why YouTube is happening again. It's you guys. You guys keep me going. So, all right, and I love every one of you. Thank you so much. And for those of you that do want in on the contest to win 6 pieces of vinyl, we'll figure it out. But you can also join Patreon for as little as $5 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And I know all of you go to Starbucks. So, all right, guys, you have a wonderful day. And if you're going to be in Chicago this Friday, come and see Deliverance. We're playing at Ricky's Rock House out in Dundee, Illinois, which is not far. It's like 18 minutes from downtown Chicago. And then remember, the next night over in Versailles, Ohio, we're opening for Disciple, which they're a great band. You guys got to come and check that out. If you're in the Ohio area, if you're in Columbus, Cincinnati, any of that, Lebanon, any of that area, kind of drive over to Versailles, man, and check out an amazing show. And I know several patrons that are coming to that show, and I look forward to meeting you guys in person, giving you big hugs, and hanging out for a little while. All right. Once again, thank you, and we shall see you all very, very soon. Peace out.